Hello everyone. Welcome back to another lecture on reasoning ability and problem solving. In today's lecture, we will discuss the exercises questions for coded inequalities. So, in the last lectures, we discussed that there are three types of problems in coded inequalities. Type 1 was direct inequality. Type 2 was coded inequalities. Basically, it was coding and decoding plus inequalities, correct? This was the concept used. Plus inequalities. And then we had missing inequalities, correct? So in today's lecture we will discuss the type 1, that is direct inequalities. So in inequalities we know that there are only 5 symbols. So A is greater than B is represented like this means A is greater than B, correct? A is less than B is represented like this, A is less than B, correct? A is equal to B is represented like this. A is equal to B. A is greater than equal to B. That means there are two possibilities, that A is either greater than or equal to B. Correct? Two possibilities are there. Similarly, if we have this symbol, it basically means again two possibilities. A is either smaller than or is equal to B, correct? So these are the only 5 symbols that we use while solving the questions for coded inequalities. So in today's lecture, let us start with type 1, that is direct inequalities. So let us start with question 1. A statement is given to us. In this statement, various relationship between various elements. So relationship between L, T, I, M, X, W, P, B, K, this is given to us. And based on these statements, we have two conclusions. We have to answer whether these two conclusions are true or not. So basically, whether they are follow or not. We are looking for only definitely true conclusions, correct? So again, I told you that whenever we solve questions on direct inequalities, we move from the bigger door to the smaller door, correct? Bigger door to smaller door. This we discussed. So we will use this approach to solve questions on coded inequalities, correct? This avoids confusion and also makes our work very easy and fast. So let us look at conclusion 1. The conclusion 1 says that x is greater to k. So that will mean we will move from bigger door to smaller door. We will move from x to k, correct? We will move from x to k. So if I look over here, if I have to move from x to k, I can move up till m. So if I start from x, I can move up till m. Then there's a smaller door. Do we have a relationship between m and k anywhere? No. So basically we cannot determine the relationship between k and x. So if the relationship cannot be determined, this is definitely false. Okay. The second one says that w is greater than m. That means we will move from w to m. So w is over here, but in front of w I can see only a small door. I cannot see a bigger door, correct? So I cannot proceed forward from w, correct? I cannot proceed forward from w. So this one is definitely false as well. So both these conclusions will be false. So my answer will be it is given in option number 3, that neither conclusion 1 nor conclusion 2 is true. So both of them are incorrect. This will be my answer. Clear? Looking at question number 2. Question number 2 says y is greater than z. So we will move from y to z. So if I move from y to z, I can see a relationship between y to a and I can see a relationship between a to z. So if I write this, basically it is given to us that y is greater than equal to A is greater than equal to D is greater than equal to U, and U is greater than Z. So based on this information, I can say definitely that y will be greater than Z. So this will be true. Correct? Next is S is greater than Q. So we will move from S to Q. Correct? We will move from S to Q. Now I can see a relationship between S and A, and I can see a relationship between A and Q. Correct? So S is greater than M, which is greater than equal to A, and A is less than Q. So I can move from S to A. Correct? I can move from S to A, but can I go further? No, because here we have a smaller door and we move from bigger door to smaller door. Correct? So here I cannot proceed further, therefore this conclusion will be false. Correct? So my answer will be that only conclusion 1 is true. Only conclusion 1 is true. This is given in option number 2. Therefore option number 2 will be the answer. Now pay attention. I initially started marking this as the answer because I assumed that in the options we were getting, okay, 1 is true, 2 is true, neither is true, either is true, and both are true. Correct? We were getting the options in this order also. But in this particular question, the order changed. The first option was for conclusion 2 and the second option was of conclusion 1. So like me also, you have to pay attention while answering the questions. Sometimes the options are jumbled up. So please read the entire option and then mark the answer. So answer will be that only conclusion 1 is true. Correct? Moving to question number 3. Question number 3, again statement is given to us, conclusion is given to us, and we have to tell whether these follow or not. So K is greater than equal to M. So we will move from K to M. Correct? We will move from K to M. Now over here I can see K is over here. Correct? But in front of K we have a small door. So can we proceed? No, because we move from a bigger door to a smaller door. Correct? So I cannot proceed further. So if I cannot proceed further, this is definitely false. This will be false. Now, second conclusion is P is greater to M. That means we will move from P to M. So if I move from P to M, I can see P over here. I can see relationship between P and W. And M is over here. So since I cannot see any relationship between W and M, therefore I cannot determine relationship between P and M. And if I cannot determine any relationship, that means this will be false also. So my answer will be that neither conclusion 1 nor conclusion 2 is true, which is given in option number 3. So option number 3 will be my answer. Clear? Now, coming to question number 4, statements are given to us and conclusions are given to us. So first conclusion is M is greater than equal to U. That means we will move from M to U. Correct? We will move from M to U. So if I move from M to U, I can see this much relationship. Correct? So M is greater than equal to A, which is greater than equal to D, which is greater than equal to U. So clearly over here I can see that M is greater than equal to U. Therefore this will be true. Okay? Coming to conclusion 2. Conclusion 2 says that G is greater than Z. So we will move from G to Z. Correct? Over here I can find a relationship between G and A. And over here I can find a relationship between A and Z. So if I write it, G is greater than Y is greater than equal to A is greater than equal to D is greater than equal to U, and U is greater than Z. So this is given to us. So based on this information, I can clearly see that G is definitely greater than Z. So this will also be true. So my answer will be that both the conclusion 1 and 2 are true. So my answer will be option number 5. Clear? Now looking at question number 5. Question number 5, this statement is given to us and 2 conclusions are given to us, and we have to see whether these conclusions follow or not. So J is greater than B. So we will move from J to B. Correct? J is greater than B. So over here I can see a relationship between J and B. J is greater than K is greater than equal to H is equal to U, and U is greater than equal to P. So clearly from this I can say J is greater than B, so this will be true. In your examination, do not spend time on writing these. I am doing this for you because you are solving them. To help you, I am writing them. But in your examination, you should save your time. So avoid using pen and paper in these type of questions. You don't require them. Okay? Just do it orally or mentally. Now, second one says R is greater to H. So we will move from R to H. R is greater to H. So over here I can see a relationship between R and B, correct? R and B. But I cannot proceed further from B because we move from bigger door to smaller door. So I cannot proceed further from B. So I cannot find the relationship between R and H, correct? So this will be false because we cannot find a relationship. This will be false. So my answer will be that only one is true. So only one is true is given in option number 4, that only conclusion 1 is true. Therefore my answer will be option number 4. Clear? Coming to question 6. Question number 6 says that this is the statement, these are the conclusions. Conclusion 1 says that P is greater than equal to S. So we will have to move from P to S. Based on this information, I can definitely say that P is greater than equal to S. Correct? So this will be true. Now, I is greater to R. So we will move from I to R. Over here, I can see a relationship between I and R. Correct? I can see a relationship between I and R. So I is equal to P, P is greater than equal to E, and E is greater than R. So this is also true. I is definitely greater than R. So my both the conclusions are true. So answer will be option number 3, that both conclusions 1 and 2 are true. Clear? Moving on to question number 7. Question number 7, again a statement is given to us, conclusions are given to us, and we have to identify which conclusions follow. So the first conclusion is T is greater than equal to D. Okay, so T is greater than equal to D. That means I can find a relationship between T and A and D. So if I write them together, T is greater than equal to A and A is greater than equal to D. Correct? This is the relationship between T and D. So my answer can be determined. Therefore, this will be true. Moving to conclusion 2. Conclusion 2 says R is greater than S. Correct? R is greater than S. Over here, I can see this much information. Correct? This much information I am considering. Based on this much information, I can move from R to E, E to T, E to A, sorry. But I cannot move further because then we have a small door. And we always move from bigger door to small door. So now I have a small door, that means I cannot proceed further. So if I cannot proceed further, I cannot reach up to S. That means this conclusion will be false. We cannot determine the relationship between R and S. So if we cannot determine the relationship, this will be false. So my answer will be that only conclusion 1 is true, which is given in option number 2. So option number 2 will be my answer to this question. Clear? Question 8. Question 8, let us look at the conclusions. First conclusion says that A is greater than equal to E. So I have to move from A to E, correct? A is greater than equal to E. So if I move from A to E, I can see A is greater than equal to B, B is greater than equal to C. But now I cannot move further because we have a smaller door over here. So again, this is false. Relationship between A and E cannot be determined. Now I have to check whether F is greater than C. So we will move from F to C. Correct? So based on this information, based on this much information, I can definitely say that F is greater to C. Correct? I can move from F to C. I can move from F to E, E to D, and D to C. Correct? So this information is true. This conclusion is true. So my answer will be that only conclusion 2 is true, which is given in option number 1. Therefore, option number 1 will be my answer. Am I clear? Now, moving on to question number 9. Question number 9, statement and conclusions, and we have to identify again which conclusions are true. So the first conclusion says is J is greater than G. So we will move from J to G. Correct? I can over here see a relationship between J, A and D, or J and A, let's say J and A. And over here I can see a relationship between A and G. So if I combine them, I can see J is greater than equal to A, which is equal to E, which is less than equal to R, which is less than G. Okay, so if I proceed forward from J to G, I can proceed up till E. But then I cannot go forward because we don't have a bigger door. We move from a bigger door to a smaller door. So the relationship between J and G cannot be identified. The relationship between J and G cannot be identified. So both these options will be false. We cannot determine the relationship between J and G. There are 5 possibilities. Either G is greater than J, either G is less than J, either G is equal to J. These 3 possibilities are there, correct? So J can be either greater than equal to J, and G can be like this also. So we have 5 different possibilities. So these will be false because we don't have a definite true answer. Therefore my answer will be neither conclusion 1 nor conclusion 2 is true. My answer will be option number 5. Clear? Coming to question number 10. Question number 10, statement is given to us, conclusions are given to us, and we have to identify which is true. So R is greater to L, we will move from R to L. So over here I can see R, but I have a smaller door. So I cannot proceed after R, correct? So this is definitely false. Now I see conclusion 2, E is greater than equal to Q. So I will move from E to Q, correct? Over here, if I move from E to Q, I can see the relationship between Q is only with L. So I have to find the relationship between E and L. But I cannot move further in this direction because we have a smaller door, correct? We have a smaller door. If we move from bigger door to smaller door, let's say, from E to Q, I can move up to R, but after R I cannot move anywhere. So this will also be false. So I will again say that neither conclusion 1 nor conclusion 2 is true. So my answer will be option number 5. Clear? Coming to question number 11. Statement and conclusions. First statement says that y is greater to r. That means we will move from y to r, correct? If I move from y to r, I can see that y is equal to x, and we have a relationship between x and r. So if I combine them, I can say y is equal to x is greater than p is greater than q, and q is greater than r. So based on this information, I can say definitely that y is greater than r. So this is true. Coming to conclusion 2, r is greater than z. So we will have to move from r to z, correct? Now over here we have a relationship between x and z which says that z is greater than r, correct? So based on this information, I can see that r will be smaller than z and not greater than z. So this will be false. So my answer will be only conclusion 1 follows, option number 1. Clear? This will be my answer. Coming to question number 12. So S equals to Q. Now S is over here. I cannot see a equal to sign. Therefore this is false. Correct? Simple. X is greater than Q. We will move from X to Q. So if I move from X to Q, I can see X and Y has a relation. Correct? X and Z has a relation. But I cannot see a relationship between X and Q. We cannot determine the relationship between X and Q. We cannot determine the relationship between X and Q. Therefore, this is also false. So, my answer will be that neither conclusion 1 nor conclusion 2 follows. So my answer will be option number 4. Clear? Coming to question number 13. Question number 13, statements are given to us and conclusions are given to us. So first conclusion says that S is greater than R. So we will move from S to R. Correct? Over here I see S, but in front of S we have a smaller door. So can we proceed further? No. Therefore this will be false. The second one says that W is greater than S. So we will move from W to S. Now I can see relationship between W and T and S. So W equals to T and T is greater than equal to S is given to us. So basically the relationship between W and S is greater than equal to S. This is the relationship. Now in option number 2, we have a relationship that S is greater than, S is less than W. This is given to us. But other is also possible that W is greater than S. These two situations are possible, correct? So this one will be false because this is not definitely true. Correct? If we have another option, let's say we have an option 3 that says S equals to W. Then we can say either option 2 is true or option 3 is true. But we don't have this option. Correct? So this will be false. So my answer will be neither conclusion 1 nor conclusion 2 follows. Option number 4. Okay? Coming to question number 14. Question number 14, statements are given, conclusions are given. Z is equal to X and Z is greater than X. So I can find the relationship between Z and X. Z is greater than equal to Y, which is equal to X. So I can remove Y. So Z will be greater than equal to X. That means two possibilities. Z is greater than X or Z is equal to X. Correct? So basically this is a relationship of either and or. Correct? I can say that Z is either greater than or equal to S. Correct? Equal to S. So we have either and or. That means our answer will be either conclusion 1 is true or 2 follows. So answer will be option number 3. Am I clear? Coming to question number 15. Question number 15, first is Y is greater than R. So we will move from Y to R. Now I can see a relationship between Y and S and R and S, which says Y is greater than S and S is greater than R. Correct? This is the relationship. So based on this relationship, this is true. Now we have to find whether R is greater than Z. So we will move from R to Z. Now over here we have R, but in front of R we have only a small door. So I cannot proceed further. Therefore this will be false. So my answer will be that only conclusion 1 follows, which is given in option number 1. This will be my answer. Am I clear? Question number 16. Question number 16, statements and conclusions. So the first conclusion says F is greater than D. So we will move from F to D. Over here I can see a relationship between F and D. Correct? I can move from F to A to P, P to M and M to D. So this is true. Correct? Second is the relationship between W and P. So W is greater than P. We will move from W to P. So now I can move from W to D. Correct? But I cannot move forward because we have a different symbol. We have a smaller door over here. We always move from bigger door to smaller door. So I cannot proceed further to reach P. So this will be false. So my answer will be that only conclusion 1 follows, which is option number 1. Clear? Option number 1 will be the answer. Coming to question number 17. Statements, conclusion. First is H is greater than B. So we will move from H to B. Now I can see this relationship between H to B. Okay. I can move from H to M, M to F. But now I cannot move further because we have a small door. And we move from a bigger door to a smaller door. Correct? So I cannot move further, therefore this will be false. We cannot determine the relationship between H and B. Second is S is greater than F. So we will move from S to F. So S is over here. In front of S we have a small door. So can we proceed further? No. So this is also false. We cannot determine the relationship between S and F. Okay. So my answer will be neither conclusion 1 nor conclusion 2 is true, which is option number 4. So option number 4 will be my answer. Am I clear? Question number 18. First conclusion is Q is greater than equal to F. So we will move from Q to F. So over here I can see that Q is greater than F. But we cannot conclude that Q is greater than equal to F. Therefore this will be false. Correct? This will be false. Second is T is greater than F. That means we will move to T to F. Correct? If I move to T to F, I can move from T to Q, Q to R, R to F. So this is true. So my answer will be only conclusion 2 is true, which is given in option number 2. Therefore, this will be my answer. Clear? Question number 19. Question number 19, statements and conclusions. So S is greater than equal to P. That means we will move from S to P. I can see if I combine this, I can see S equals to R. R is greater than Q and Q is greater than P. Correct? So based on this information, I can say that S is greater than P, but I cannot conclude that S is greater than equal to P. Correct? So this will be false. Then we have R is greater than P. So obviously from this information, I can say that R is greater than P. This is true. So my answer will be only conclusion 2 follows. Therefore, option number 2. Correct? Moving on to question 20. Last question for today. S is greater than F. So we will move from S to F. Over here, I can see S is greater than equal to M. Correct? But I cannot move further. I cannot move further because we have a small door. We move from bigger door to smaller door. So if I cannot move further, that means this will be false. This will be false. We cannot determine the relationship between S and F. Correct? Now Y is greater to T. So we have to move from Y to T. If I move from Y to T, this much information we can use. Based on this information, I can see that Y is definitely more than T. So this information will be true. So my answer will be that only conclusion 2 follows. That is option number 2. Option number 2 will be my answer. Clear? So in today's lecture, we discussed type 1, that is direct inequalities. In the next lecture, we will discuss 2 types. First is coded inequalities. In coded inequalities, we basically convert them into direct inequalities and solve them. And second is missing inequalities. So we will cover these 2 in the next lecture. So this concludes today's lecture. Thank you.